Hello, good evening, and welcome to the channel. This is your host, Cindy Holden, and I'm back. I am back, I'm back, I'm back. Glad to be here, glad to see you here. So, in case you don't know where you are, you just kind of scrolled and you stumbled across this channel, stop, wait a minute, pause. I got something to say. You may want to hear this. You have come to my channel called The Pieces of Me. I am a woman of worth. I am here on a mission. I have a goal to uplift, to inspire, to motivate, to edify, to share something, a word, a thought, a quote, some food for thought, right? My target audience is for women. However, anybody that stops by, right? I just suspect that this is something, I'll say something that can be helpful to you too. So tonight is going to be no different. I'm here for it. I'm ready. I'm going to try to keep it short and sweet. But I've been thinking about something and pondering on it most of today, right? I worked, I had time to unwind just a little bit and kind of clear my head and lean in to what I wanted to share with you on tonight. And so it's one word that came up, right? That word is becoming. Becoming. As I thought about that word and what it meant or what it means to me, and there were some other things that kind of came up that I correlate with becoming. First of all, our previous First Lady, Michelle Obama, she has a book, and that's the title of it, Becoming. It's like, I think it's like a chat with Michelle Obama. I have not read the entire book, to be transparent. I've read parts of it, I have it, and I'm sure I'll get back to it. But some of my takeaways from what I have read, and she was having a candid conversation, about her journey in life. And, she shared some specific, let's say, lessons, and some wisdom that she has gathered for herself along the way. And she's sharing some of those insights in the book. I thought about that for one. And then there was like a quote, and I'm looking at it so I won't misquote it. Let's see. The person, his name is David. All right. David O. McKay. He doesn't use the word becoming, right? But I thought about this in correlation or other things that kind of connect to becoming. And this is his quote. It says, "Find a purpose in life that is so big it will challenge the very it will challenge the capacity, it will challenge your capacity to be yourself." I'm going to read that again because I kind of stumbled across it. Again, it is find a purpose in life that is so big it will challenge every capacity to be yourself. And that really rings out to me. The title of the channel, how I came up with it, is, recognizing in my own journey that the pieces of me matter. We use the language I have, I'll speak from the I perspective, and perhaps you have too. A part of me, and then fill in the blank. And then there's another part. And so there are pieces of ourselves, whether it's our past self, our younger self, our future self, or who we are now that need tending to. I liken it to, it's like a metaphor I ran across in one of my readings. It's like, you know what? I'm a garden, right? And I need some tending to. I need some fresh soil, perhaps some fertilizer. There have been different things, some watering. And so today I can say that I am a well-tended garden, meaning I'm tending to the things that's going to help me to grow and to flourish. And so as I read that quote by David O. McKay, it just reminded me of becoming, discovering or uncovering or coming in contact, connecting with my purpose or a purpose, right? A purpose for being here on the earth, and how the different parts of myself, my past self, younger in life, even as far as yesterday, right? The different pieces of me, they matter, and they help to make up who I am, right? And who I'm becoming, because every piece of me matters. Right, wrong, weak, or strong. There's some lessons, there's some struggles, there have been some challenges, there's some understanding and wisdom in the pieces of me that have helped me to be this woman of worth, and I'm yet becoming. And so, what does it mean, this becoming? I like to look up just simple definitions, whether it's the dictionary. I am a believer, a person of faith, and sometimes I go to the scriptures, or I love to read and explore different types of reading. So I'm looking at books and different things. And so today, our definition of becoming, it comes straight from the Merriam-Webster dictionary, and I choose the things that speak to me. And so I want to encourage you to do the same. Perhaps this does not speak to you in the way that it speaks to me. And so go find your own definition. But here's the foundation, right? This might be a good start. So this is what I found when it speaks about becoming. Becoming is being true to yourself. Now that's always the invitation around here, right? Being true to yourself, right? Spending time thinking. It's okay to think. I may not think like, and you can fill in the blank, but I do think. I love to think, right? I love to think critically. It may not be like someone else, but it doesn't have to be. Like spending time reflecting. Reflecting about what? Reflecting about who I am and where I've been and what I've done, right? This may sound selfish. It may sound a little selfish, I like to consider it's a way of me centering myself, a way of me connecting with myself, a way for me to have a healthy relationship with myself, knowing who I am, knowing where I've been, being able to embrace those pieces or those parts of myself, and gaining understanding for the purpose of being a light and reflection right here in the earth. Part of what I do in my day to day is helping people to help themselves through a lot of different ways. It's empowering, to witness or hold a safe space for people to talk about their experiences and to discover, hey, I had that answer inside of me all along. And so again, we're talking about becoming and what that could look like or what that can mean for you. So again, going back to the definition, it's being able to be true to yourself, because that's really important, to spend time, right, with yourself. Spend time reflecting, spend time thinking, and not only that, but to spend time re-examining, right? Or perhaps discovering what matters to you. We call that values, right? What do I believe? What's important to me? Yeah. Let me figure out. So let me examine within myself so that it can help me to gain more understanding about myself, the things that have helped to shape what I think and what I believe. And do I still believe those things, or do I want to challenge those things in my process of becoming? I done said a mouthful there. Also, in becoming, it can help me to rethink. That's a word right there. To rethink, right? Reevaluate, if you will. To reimagine. Where am I going? Where do I want to go? Where am I now? You know, being in the present, there's those different parts or pieces of ourselves, right, that we can unpack, if you will, or unfold or gain revelation about my becoming, you, about your becoming. And so, in this process, again, to discover or to uncover my values, to prioritize them, to rethink, to reimagine. I love these different words as it relates to becoming. And also, right, here's one that really stands out for me as it relates to transformation. Yeah. What are the things that perhaps are uncomfortable? Ooh, yeah. Maybe the things that, bring up fear. hmm Maybe there's a dream or a vision that I've had. And in my process of becoming, I'm realizing that there's some things that have challenged me, right? And I felt like I didn't have any options. There were no other choices. I felt stuck. I see people every day who come, and that's one of the things that they identify. I feel stuck. There's been no movement. I'm stagnant. I find myself rehearsing the same things, or the things that I once believed. I'm not so sure that they even matter or that they're the same. And so again, the challenge, discovering that, hey, you know what? I'm not stuck. I do have options. And now I get to decide what it is that I want to change. We're talking about transformation. That's definitely connected to becoming. And so the last thing that I wanted to point out about becoming, one of the things that I've realized that it takes for me, I'll speak from the I perspective, is being honest with myself. Being honest with other people is good too, just being honest, period. But the ability for me to be honest with me. Yeah. Taking time in reflection and getting within myself, going within myself, getting deep, getting down to the core, to the essence of who I am. And that's been by way of really getting honest about where I've been, and allowing what's been perhaps eating away at me, what's been illing me, if you will, what's been keeping me sick and stagnant and stuck. Getting honest about that and being aware and willing, right, to acknowledge. Yeah. Acknowledge to who? Acknowledge to myself. Because after all, that's who I'm responsible for. I'm becoming responsible for every fiber, every piece, every part of who I am. Now, I'm not talking about, being in isolation, right? No, a place of solitude, I'd like to see it, where I can sit with myself. I can spend time with myself. I can quiet the noise in my own head. I can examine my inner me, that INNER, and not look on the outside to what I perceive as the enemy that is causing things in my inner me. I'm going to let that sit for a minute. Yeah, I know something about that. It's a part of becoming, right? There's no judgment, it's not a critique. It's really being honest, being transparent with myself, and being genuine to the point that who I am, where I've been, in this process, it's all relevant. It all matters. Why? Because every piece of me, it matters. Every little piece of me in becoming, right? So that's the definition that I got. I shared that quote with you. And so I want to challenge you today. Who are you becoming? What do you want to become, right? Are you willing to pause the doing, right? What do I mean by that? It's okay to accomplish, achieve, to have goals and desires, right? To be successful. But is the performance, right? Or the performances, the achievements, the accomplishments, are they defining who you are becoming? What happens if they all fade away? Can you be without the do? I can't tell you that. You have to be willing to sit and discover that for yourself. But what I can say is, in this journey of life, in becoming, is there a purpose? One that's so big, it will challenge you to be your true self, to go in, because that's where all the gems are. So I'd like to offer a prayer. Dear God, I thank you for this opportunity and this time that you've allowed me to be in this safe space, to be a light, to be a witness of the light and the life that we can live as we learn to value who you are, who you've created us to be, and the purpose and the thoughts and the plans that you have for our lives. Even in the breaking, even in the valleys, even in the down times, even in the times where it doesn't look so clear. I can't see. I'm not sure. I'm feeling some kind of way. You have already blessed and prepared the direction, the divine design for who we are and who we will be. And so, God, we just thank you again for this time you've allowed us to come together, and you've allowed me to share a word that will be inspiring, motivating, reassuring, and helping to build the confidence of those who are seeking and searching to be the best person and the person that you have called them to be. So continue to allow those who stop by this channel open their eyes, their ears, and their heart. Allow them to be the best them that they can be. And so I thank you. This is my prayer. Amen. So thank you to everyone who stopped by. I'm open to hear your comments, your feedback, conversations that you'd like to hear, or perhaps topics that you're interested in. Just leave me a little comment or a note. I do pay attention somewhat, right, to what you're looking for and to the feedback. So until we meet again, right here on A Pieces of Me, a woman of worth. I'll see you soon.